down from Cedar Rapids. And, of course, his brother, his bodyguards here from Grimes, keeping an eye on him as well. We've got Aaron Gurnis on the big board for the television production on WHO TV 13.2, Mediacom channels 113, 246, and, of course, as he is each and every Friday night, not tomorrow, Saturday morning, is Ben Carroll. Let's go out to Southeast Polk, the Rams. Gorgeous campus out there, and Joe Stacy's got our IBEW Local 347 game of the week. Urbandale Jayhawks, Southeast Polk Rams. Break it down first, Joseph.
Yeah, I tell you what, as it would have, of course, our first break for Montana Mike Steakhouse. Of course, Mike Rickard, you were very familiar with Montana Mike's, and, of course, IBEW marquee matchup of the weekend. We are broadcasting from one of the premier high schools and facilities in the state of Iowa, hands down. Southeast Polk High School Gymnasium for the Iowa Sports Connection and Friday Night Live with the on the Winter Sports Edition. Joe Stacy was courtside, a little bit flustered when I first came on because we didn't have a very good signal courtside. But right now, 2:23 left to go in the second quarter between the Urbandale Jayhawks and the Southeast Polk Rams, and the Urbandale Jayhawks have a 13-11 lead in this boys CIML Central Conference clash. And tonight, the Urbandale Jayhawks, coached by Brad Bjorkman, come in taking on the Southeast Polk Rams. The Urbandale Jayhawks come in 10-3, 4-2 in conference play, while the Southeast Polk Rams come into tonight's conference matchup 6-5 overall, 2-3 in conference play. And boy, I tell you what, we're loyal to IBEW Local 347, sponsoring the Friday Night Live marquee matchup of the week in football and basketball, reaching the entire state, 99 counties on our radio station, of course, on the new TV reach with WHO 13.2, Mediacom channels 113, 246, Montana Mike's 5030 Northeast 14th Street. They are the new game in town, and they're sponsoring us tonight, and we hope to have them on board for a long time. Tonight, in-house, you guys are enjoying the Mountain Burger, a 1-pound burger served with lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, all that good stuff. Homemade onion rings, fresh cut steak, New York strip dinner, 14-ounce, $15.99. Ribeye dinner, $14.99. Carry out. And I tell you what, these guys got it going on. For starters tonight, you guys have, what? The mountain stuffed mushrooms. Jumbo mushroom cap stuffed with a blend of cream cheese, cheddar cheese, and ranch seasoning, dipped in crunchy breadcrumbs and crispy fried. I tell you what, it doesn't sound like a Kosama workout, but it's great food. We'll talk a lot about these people as we go on. Montana Mike's Steakhouse, the big steak country, is in town, and we certainly appreciate them, and hopefully we have a long-lasting relationship as we broadcast from Southeast Polk High School Gymnasium with the IBEW and Montana Mike's Steakhouse. Marquee matchup of the week, 1:16 left to go, second quarter, and the Urbandale Jayhawks have a 16-12 lead over the Southeast Polk Rams. Joe Stacy reporting for Friday Night Live.
Thank you, Joseph, on a frigid night out there in Runnels, Iowa. Now let's talk some more wrestling, Tone.
Again tomorrow morning, Ed Winger Invitational at Urbandale High School. It all gets started again at 10 o'clock, and we talked about a few of the weight classes, and we're here with Wyatt Schultz, the insider from the Predicament. And Wyatt, let's go to 130 pounds, and I think it's interesting. You already brought up John Meeks and Brandon Sorensen. Meeks out of Des Moines, Roosevelt, Sorensen from Denver, Chipola out of Class 2A. But an interesting one to me in this one, he moves down in weight from 135 to 130. Adam Perrin, he's a pretty darn good wrestler as well from North Scott of Elders, and I think he brings a little interest to that weight class as well.
Right, and Perrin got beat last week, which if you notice my rankings from one week to the next, with that loss, it just threw things out of whack for me. And it was one of those sleepless nights trying to figure that one out. But it's...
He'll be motivated, I should say, for this one.
Oh, yeah. I think he will. It was kind of a surprise because his only other loss this year was to, I believe, Kelleher out of Apple Valley, he might be the one that's going to Wisconsin to wrestle.
Apple Valley, Minnesota.
Yeah. And he's a great wrestler, so that's going to be an awful tough weight.
Another interesting weight class, you got Gabriel Marino at 145, top ranked in 3A, but Ballard of Huxley always has some pretty good wrestlers, and Tanner Hyatt on the 2A field will be part of that. He's ranked number 3 there, and Dylan Blackford out of Southeast Polk also ranked number 3. That's an interesting weight class as well.
Right, and Garrett Hathaway's been having a great year too. I think his only losses, he might have one in-state loss, but otherwise his losses are all out-of-state kids, Illinois, and I can't remember if he got beat by the St. Ed's, Ohio kid or not. But that's a tough schedule.
Tone, can I interrupt for
Sure.
a second? If anybody's listening right now and is a novice like I am about, as we're mentioning these rankings, when they start doing seeding to get down to Wells Fargo Arena, do the rankings have anything to do with it at all?
They have nothing to do with it.
I didn't think so. I just wanted to clarify.
It's-
If anybody's listening, they always get in tune to rankings in basketball and other sports. I wanted to make sure that that was clarified.
In fact, the rankings have nothing to do with it, and the seeding is only done at sectionals. Then after sectionals, everything is paired. So the state tournament is not seeded at all; it's all paired. And so,
Did you have a 1 against a 2 in the first round then?
You certainly could.
Holy moly!
Yeah, if the number one kid happens to get upset in a district, he'll get paired against a number one kid from another section or another district. So yeah, and it has happened. A couple years ago, I think the top 4 kids were in the same quarter bracket. And so when you come out the backside, one of you is gone.
I bet there were some coaches raising some holy heck then.
There is, and there is every year because they'd like to see it seeded. I personally like the way it is now because it adds intrigue into the first round where it may not be so intriguing the first round until it gets towards the finals. And I like that first round matchups.
And because of that, not only individually it throws things off, but team-wise it could throw things off because those could be from the teams that are going to score highly. And all of a sudden this kid from another bracket becomes the one that's getting all these points, and now it changes the whole thing on the team race as well.
It does, and especially if your wrestler happens to be maybe the third or fourth best, and he's got to score points on that backside, and all of a sudden he's getting beat out on the backside, not scoring any points. It throws your team scores way out of whack.
It sure as heck puts a lot of pressure on you the entire time, doesn't it?
Exactly, which is why you win districts and don't come in second.
That's true. Let's talk about some of the other outstanding wrestlers left. 152 to 285 pounds. At 152, Britt Thompson of Iowa City West, ranked number 2. Ben Swalla from right up north here in Ames is going to be here. Garrett Smith from Denver Tripolo, ranked number 1 in Class 2A. Some outstanding wrestlers there. At 160, Justin Kothe out of Iowa City West, ranked number 1. Dominic Chase out of Bettendorf, ranked number 3. Just a couple of others to watch in those 2 weight classes.
Right, and Ben Swalla out of Ames, he's been having a pretty good year too. So those 3 kids right in there that'll be a good matchup at 52.
You'd almost have to be probably called certifiably crazy if you didn't rank somebody named number 1, named Weatherman.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
Or they come after you.
Oh, they come after you. Yeah,
and Tanner Weatherman's ranked number 1 at 171 in the Class 2A ranks. But let's find out how tough it's going to be because Willie Milkus out of Southeast Polk will be right there trying to be a challenger for him.
Right, and Levson has kind of been injured this year, so it'll be interesting to see how he actually falls into play here.
At 189, a kid who's had some injury issues over the years, but one of the nicest kids, but a tough wrestler, Brandon Abernathy out of Indianola.
Right, and he's going to meet Nate Shaw, who's been having an outstanding year himself. So when and if they meet, it's going to be tough.
Well, Johnston, not known for wrestling, but they have one individual wrestler that can put it out there pretty good, Joe Scanlon. They're ranked number 2 at 215 pounds, and should be an interesting matchup there. I know Jesse South out of Urbandale. He's a Des Moines Christian kid that wrestles over there for Urbandale, and another nice kid there.
Right. Scanlon just had his first loss last week against Connor Herman from Cedar Rapids, Jeff. That was a good match. I think Herman put in his patented cradle and got a 2-point near fall to win 4-2. So Scanlon will be right in there, and Keaton Jurovitz with their schedule could throw things into whack too. He's pretty good.
And Jurovitz out of Bulldog Country in Bettendorf. In 285 of the big boys, Brody Berry out of Bettendorf. He's ranked number 2 in 3A. Zach Bauer of DCG. Dallas Center Grimes in 2A, ranked number 5. Those are the only ranked wrestlers there. Looks like a Brody Berry day, huh?
Right. Well, and then Verisco out of Southeast Polk, he's moving up between 215 and heavyweight. So we'll see where he even weighed in this weekend. So it'd be interesting to see where how he wrestles.
Now, for those who are interested in going to the Ed Winger, anything you should tell them about it? It all gets started at 10. How early should they get there to get the prime seats?
Early, because if you want to see a state tournament without going to the state tournament, this is it.
Okay.
And if you don't want to walk 10 blocks,
Exactly. I'm going early.
yeah, you want to get there from a parking perspective over
Yeah.
there in the Urbandale neighborhood.
I'm
Well,
bringing
you
the
make sure
coffee.
you
That's
tell
how
the-
early I'm going.
Tell the good doctor hello for us tomorrow.
I will. I'll
right.
tell the doctor hi.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to switch it up on you a lot based on the theme so far tonight. We're going to go a little college women's basketball. I'll talk to Simpson women's basketball coach Brian Nemeth. We'll be back on the Iowa Sports Connection. It's Friday Night Live on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio Network.